Gary Cohn is the guy that Charlie Gasparino has some breaking news on right now.
You just like Gary Cohn because he's from Cleveland. You're always protecting him.
I like him. I think he's smart. I think the president thinks he's smart.
Okay, but
he didn't like the comments about the Charlottesville.
We can get into that in a minute, but here's what what people close to Gary Cohn tell me that he is likely out of the Trump administration by the end of the year. On his own volition, he has lost the confidence of the president. This is what people close to Gary Cohn are saying. Following his, by the way, he went behind the scenes. Then he publicly stated that he did not like his Charlottesville attacks or commentary about Trump's Charlottesville's comments. But so here's what we got from the White House right now. We asked him point blank: is Gary Cohn out by the end of the year? Is he on the ropes? What they're saying is that they're denying that there's any issue about him leaving, that he is not leaving by the end of the year, denying it. The White House has gone on the record with Fox Business denying that Gary Cohn is out by the end of the year. This is despite widespread speculation he is. What they said, what they called it was ridiculous, and they said he's essentially focusing on his job as the head of the NEC, the National Economic Council. We did ask him as well, that's the full comment from the White House.
Let's read it because people are listening on XM. This is ridiculous. Gary is focused on his responsibilities as the director of the National Economic Council, and that's tax reform.
And by the way, we asked him after that, is this a denial that he's leaving by the end of the year? And they said this is a denial. So just so you know, we're making sure they weren't playing word games.
They were sure. They were clear.
Now, we asked him about, will Gary Cohn still be the Fed chair? Does he still have a shot at being Fed chairman, or are these reports right, including our reports? We've been saying this since Gary Cohn's critique of Trump's Charlottesville comments, that he was probably not going to get the Fed chairman. Something we reported yesterday, and the Journal followed us right after our show, your show yesterday. That's where they wouldn't comment. They wouldn't have any comment. So it seems like...
Because there's no job open. Janet Yellen is still there.
Or it seems like they're hedging on that one. He's probably not going to get that one. I will say this. Bannon made one good point here, and here's the thing. If what you believe, Liz, is that what the president said was so bad, then I don't know how you sort of rationalize staying with the administration. Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, was pretty point blank. He said, listen, I know Donald Trump. He's not a racist. I'm going to stay. Gary Cohn kind of wanted it both ways, and I don't see how he stays wanting it both ways, because I hear that the president...
On one single point, there are multiple swaths of issues here that they may agree on, and one issue that touched Gary Cohn's nerves. I'm sure Donald Trump can accept that.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I agree with Gary Cohn's sentiments, just so you know. We've been very critical, you and I, about Donald Trump's response to the Charlottesville riots, or whatever you want to call it, that neo-Nazi march, and then obviously someone died during that. It was a horrible situation. Killed. We criticized him heavily. But if you're going to stay with the administration after, I don't know how you criticize the president, his response, and stay with the administration.
We have this breaking news, Charlie, that it has been confirmed that President Trump will have a full cabinet meeting at Camp David this weekend. He's not a secretary, but would that include Gary Cohn, do you think?
That should include Gary Cohn. Now, if it doesn't include Gary Cohn, that'll be telling. I mean, are you sure that the NEC chief is not in the cabinet?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I think
he's in it.
He is in it.
I've decided.
Okay. Well,
because I like Gary Cohn.
You should know the National Economic Council, and he runs it, right, has the Treasury Secretary in his council.
Correct.
And he leads these these economic meetings. So Gary Cohn,
But quickly, what does it mean for people's money? Because when there was word that he might leave, the markets did show some reverberation.
I think the markets like the fact that Gary Cohn, who is a Wall Street guy, is in the administration, and I think there will be somewhat of a sell-off if he leaves.